Buying an SUV in 2026 sounds simple. Walk into a dealership, choose the one that looks good, has the latest technology, and drive away happy. But that decision can become extremely expensive if you choose the wrong model. Today's SUV market is packed with impressive screens, aggressive styling, powerful engines, and endless marketing promises. But not every SUV delivers the value, reliability, comfort, or long-term ownership experience you expect. Some models look incredible on a showroom floor, but become frustrating once the honeymoon period ends. Others may offer tempting prices, but compromise where it matters most: fuel economy, practicality, ride quality, reliability, or resale value. And then there are the SUVs that quietly outperform expectations and prove that you don't always need to spend a fortune to get a great vehicle. In this video, we're breaking down 5 SUVs you should think twice about buying in 2026 and 2 SUVs that deserve serious attention. Number 7. Jeep Compass. The Jeep Compass enters this list because it illustrates an important lesson about buying an SUV. A recognizable badge and rugged styling don't automatically guarantee the best overall package. The Compass has a design that appeals to buyers who want something that looks adventurous without moving into a much larger SUV. Its higher driving position, available all-wheel drive, and Jeep-inspired styling give it plenty of character. For some drivers, those qualities are exactly what they want. But when you compare the complete ownership experience with the growing number of competitors available in 2026, the Compass becomes harder to recommend without reservations. The biggest concern is value. Buyers today expect an SUV to provide strong technology, excellent fuel efficiency, comfortable interiors, competitive performance, and dependable everyday usability. When a vehicle starts approaching the price of better-equipped competitors, its weaknesses become much more noticeable. The interior may not feel as impressive as some newer rivals, while certain configurations can make the vehicle considerably more expensive than its basic sticker price suggests. Then there's the question of powertrain performance and refinement. If your priority is smooth acceleration and effortless highway driving, you'll want to carefully compare the Compass against alternatives before signing anything. Another consideration is long-term ownership. An SUV isn't just about the monthly payment. Insurance, fuel, maintenance, depreciation, tires, and unexpected repairs can dramatically change what a vehicle actually costs you over several years. The Compass can still make sense for someone who specifically wants its styling and available capability, but for a buyer simply looking for the smartest all-around SUV, there are stronger choices. The lesson here isn't never buy a Compass. It's don't buy one simply because the Jeep badge looks tough. Compare the numbers, test drive competing models, check the exact trim, and calculate the total ownership cost before making your decision. Number 6. Nissan Kicks. The Nissan Kicks is an interesting case because it targets one of the fastest growing areas of the SUV market: affordable, compact crossovers. For buyers who mainly need an economical city vehicle with a higher seating position and easy maneuverability, the Kicks can be appealing. It's relatively easy to drive, practical for urban environments, and designed around buyers who don't necessarily need a large engine or huge cargo area. But this is where you need to understand the difference between good for a specific buyer and best overall SUV. If you regularly carry a full family, travel long distances, drive heavily loaded, or spend significant time on highways, the limitations of a small crossover can become obvious. Performance expectations matter. A vehicle designed primarily for efficiency and urban transportation won't necessarily deliver the confident acceleration or relaxed highway behavior of a larger and more powerful SUV. And while compact dimensions are a major advantage in crowded cities, they can become a disadvantage if your lifestyle demands more passenger space or cargo flexibility. Another issue is pricing. Affordable SUVs have become increasingly competitive, which means you should never assume that the cheapest-looking vehicle is automatically the best deal. A slightly more expensive competitor might offer substantially better performance, equipment, comfort, or resale value. That difference can matter more over 5 or 7 years than the initial purchase price. The Kicks can absolutely be the right choice for someone who prioritizes fuel economy, compact dimensions, and urban practicality. But if you're searching for one SUV that can handle everything from family road trips to highway commuting without compromises, you need to compare carefully. Don't let a low entry price make the decision for you. Look at the exact trim, equipment, financing, warranty, expected maintenance, and how the SUV fits your real lifestyle. In 2026, buyers have more choices than ever, and that means there's less reason to settle for a vehicle that doesn't match your needs. Number 5. Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport is another SUV that deserves careful consideration before you buy. Its appeal is understandable. It offers SUV styling, a compact footprint, and a price position toward buyers who want something practical without jumping into a larger and more expensive vehicle. For someone who mainly drives around town and wants basic crossover functionality, that formula can work. But the problem appears when you compare it with the newer generation of competitors that have pushed the compact SUV segment forward. Buyers in 2026 increasingly expect advanced driver assistance, high-quality infotainment, refined interiors, strong fuel economy, comfortable seats, and powertrains that feel modern and responsive. When an SUV begins to feel dated next to its competition, its lower price may not be enough to compensate. Technology is particularly important because modern vehicles are becoming more like connected devices on wheels. A vehicle that saves money initially but feels outdated after only a few years may not deliver the satisfaction buyers expect. There's also the question of resale value and dealer support, which can vary significantly depending on location. Before purchasing any less common SUV, you should research local service availability and ownership costs rather than assuming they will be identical to those of a high-volume competitor. The Outlander Sport isn't necessarily a disaster, and calling it universally bad would be unfair. It can make sense for buyers who prioritize simplicity and affordability above everything else. But if you have a flexible budget and want the most modern overall package, you should test several alternatives before committing. This is exactly why comparison shopping matters in 2026. Don't compare only monthly payments. Compare features, warranty coverage, fuel costs, maintenance, performance, interior space, technology, and resale expectations. Sometimes spending a little more upfront can deliver a dramatically better ownership experience over the next 5 years. Number 4. Chevrolet Trax. The Chevrolet Trax is one of the most interesting vehicles in this conversation because it demonstrates how quickly the SUV market has changed. The Trax offers a practical shape, attractive styling, useful interior space, and a price that can make it tempting for budget-conscious buyers. On paper, it checks many boxes that modern SUV shoppers care about. But once again, the key question is not whether the Trax is a terrible vehicle. It isn't. The question is whether it is the best choice for your specific priorities. Compact crossovers are now incredibly competitive, and buyers can find models offering different combinations of performance, fuel efficiency, interior quality, technology, and long-term value. The Trax can be particularly attractive for someone who wants a spacious-feeling small SUV without stepping into a much larger vehicle. However, buyers should carefully consider powertrain expectations, especially if they frequently drive at highway speeds, carry several passengers, or live in areas where steep roads are common. Acceleration and driving character can make a huge difference in everyday satisfaction. Another factor is the trim level. The cheapest version may look attractive in advertisements, but the equipment you actually want can push the price higher. This is why it's important to build your ideal configuration before deciding whether a vehicle represents good value. Also consider cargo needs. A vehicle can feel roomy during a short test drive, but become surprisingly restrictive once you add luggage, groceries, sports equipment, or child-related gear. The Trax can still be a smart purchase for the right person, but don't let attractive styling or a competitive price stop you from comparing it against its strongest rivals. The best SUV isn't necessarily the one with the lowest sticker price. It's the one that gives you the strongest combination of capability, comfort, reliability, efficiency, and value for your particular lifestyle. Number 3. Ford Escape. The Ford Escape takes our final think twice position because it highlights how difficult the compact SUV market has become. The Escape has plenty going for it. It offers a comfortable driving position, practical dimensions, multiple powertrain configurations depending on market and trim, and the familiarity of one of the biggest automotive brands in the world. But buyers in 2026 have to look beyond familiarity. The SUV market has evolved dramatically, and competition has become ruthless. If another vehicle offers a more modern interior, stronger resale value, better fuel economy, more engaging driving dynamics, or a more comprehensive standard equipment package for similar money, then the Escape needs to justify its position. That doesn't mean it's automatically a bad vehicle. Instead, it means you should be very careful about paying too much for one. Dealership pricing, incentives, financing, and trim selection can completely change the value equation. A heavily discounted Escape could make far more sense than a fully loaded model priced close to premium competitors. Another factor is your intended ownership period. If you plan to keep the vehicle for many years, research reliability trends, maintenance costs, warranty coverage, and parts availability before buying. If you change vehicles every few years, depreciation and resale value become much more important. This is where many shoppers make a mistake. They focus entirely on the purchase price and ignore what happens when they eventually sell or trade the SUV. The Escape can still be a reasonable choice, particularly when the deal is right, but reasonable isn't always the same as best in class. And that's the entire point of this list. In 2026, you have enough choices that you should demand more from your next SUV. Test drive the competition, negotiate aggressively, calculate your 5-year ownership cost, and never let a salesperson rush you into a decision simply because the vehicle looks good on the showroom floor. Number 2, Best SUV, Toyota RAV4. Now we reach one of the SUVs that deserves serious attention, the Toyota RAV4. There's a reason the RAV4 name has become so familiar in the SUV world. It has consistently focused on the things everyday buyers actually need: practicality, efficiency, usability, and strong overall ownership value. For 2026 buyers, that formula remains extremely important. A great SUV doesn't need to be the fastest vehicle in its class or have the most outrageous interior. It needs to work. It needs to fit your lifestyle, handle daily commuting, provide useful cargo capacity, keep fuel costs manageable, and give you confidence when you're driving it year after year. The RAV4 has built its reputation around exactly those fundamentals. Depending on configuration and market, electrified powertrains can make the RAV4 particularly attractive for buyers who want improved efficiency without completely changing their driving habits. But the real advantage is balance. You're not buying the SUV for one impressive feature. You're buying a complete package. For families, the practical interior and cargo space are important. For commuters, efficiency matters. For long-term owners, reliability and resale considerations matter. For people who live in areas with difficult weather, available all-wheel drive configurations can add another layer of confidence. Of course, no SUV is perfect, and pricing can vary significantly between trims. That's why you should compare the exact version you're considering rather than simply relying on the model name. But if you want an SUV that makes sense for a wide range of buyers, the RAV4 is difficult to ignore. It may not scream for attention in a parking lot, but that's exactly what makes it such a smart choice. It focuses on the fundamentals and gives buyers a package that can remain useful long after the excitement of a new car purchase wears off. Number 1, Best SUV, Honda CR-V. And finally, we have the Honda CR-V, one of the strongest all-around choices for SUV buyers who want practicality without unnecessary drama. The CR-V has spent years competing directly against the biggest names in the compact SUV segment, and its success comes from a simple philosophy: give buyers a vehicle that works exceptionally well in everyday life. In 2026, that remains one of the most valuable qualities an SUV can have. The CR-V offers a comfortable cabin, useful passenger space, practical cargo capacity, and a range of configurations designed around different buyer priorities. Its hybrid options can be particularly appealing to people who want better efficiency without sacrificing the convenience of an SUV. But what really makes the CR-V stand out is balance. It doesn't try to be a sports car. It doesn't pretend to be a luxury vehicle. It focuses on being comfortable, practical, efficient, and easy to live with. That sounds simple, but it's surprisingly difficult to get all of those qualities working together. The CR-V is also the kind of SUV that can make sense for multiple stages of life. A young professional can use it for commuting, a couple can use it for weekend travel, and a growing family can take advantage of its passenger and cargo flexibility. Of course, pricing and availability vary by market, and you should always compare the exact trim and powertrain before buying. But if your goal is to find an SUV that delivers a strong combination of practicality, efficiency, comfort, and long-term usability, the CR-V deserves to be near the top of your test drive list. This is what a smart SUV purchase looks like. Not necessarily the flashiest choice, but a vehicle that continues making sense long after you drive it off the dealership lot.